Hello everyone, my name is Rock and welcome back to another S.H.MonsterArts figure review. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the MECHAGODZILLA from Godzilla vs. Kong Final Battle Edition. The one that we should have gotten initially. If you guys haven't seen my original video of the MECHAGODZILLA, I'll probably not link it down in the description below because that is too much work. Just look it up at my channel, I don't know. But I probably will, don't worry. But yeah, it's been over a year at this point since I reviewed that guy because I was only able to get him a year ago for a really decent price, actually. But this guy's expensive. This guy was a hit in my wallet, I'm not gonna lie. So, without further ado, let's take him out and see how he looks. Alright, so here we have the mechanical monstrosity that is MECHAGODZILLA from Godzilla vs. Kong 2021. And this is literally just the same figure as before with a new coat of paint, or some coat of paint. So give me 1 second while I actually bring out the previous one so you guys can see a better comparison between the two. Alright, so some of you might think that this figure is literally just the same figure with some painted red areas, and it's some extent you are right. But looking them side by side, you can see that this figure has more of a silver coating than the other one. And I don't know why I have super low lighting here, but you can see that the figure on the left, which was the original 2021 figure, has a like a lighter silver coating throughout the entirety of the body, which makes sense. That's how he looked. But with the final battle edition, they decided to go with a little bit of a gunmetal look. Not necessarily super dark, but it's still darker than the original version. And of course, it has the red accents, showcasing that it is like battle ready. The only thing that this figure had that was red was the spinal cord with the little red lights. A lot of people have already customized their figure to look like it was painted red at the beginning, which is perfectly fine. That's something that you could do. But this figure, of course, also comes with a lot more goodies. So that's really nice. Now, in terms of the articulation, we've already kind of gone in depth with the articulation. The tail is beautiful. This is like one of my favorite tails from S.H.MonsterArts. I understand that a lot of people have already broken theirs by accident because even the slightest tight joint that you have in this tail will end up being detrimental. If I remember correctly, no, you cannot. So I thought there was a piece to actually like rotate the tail here, but apparently not. Unless that is in the accessories, which it is. Okay, so that is an accessory that does come with the figure. Let's see if it's poppable. Yes. So yeah, it is an accessory that comes with the figure. So we'll take a look at that later. Now for the head, he does move pretty well, which is really nice. He opens his jaw, which you can actually open the jaw. People were concerned that you couldn't you couldn't fully close it because it had the beam inside. But it's pretty much the exact same mouth. Not necessarily any differences whatsoever besides the red beam of death inside of it. People were really, really concerned that you couldn't close his jaw, but it literally closes the exact same as the previous one. If not, actually a little bit better, at least for mine. Looking side to side, also pretty good. The whole entire chunk of the body is die-cast metal. So this is a hefty figure. Not as heavy as others, or not as heavy as you think, but it is still a hefty figure. He does spread pretty well. Now, something I will definitely suggest for those that are brand new to this figure is that you should be careful with the pistons right here. If you do not take them out or anything, you do not get as much range as you should. So you can take them out. It is something that you can do. I would definitely suggest that, but do it at your own risk. They are delicate, they are small, they are fragile. These areas right here, they do swivel a little bit, which does allow you to move his leg forward just a tiny bit. These pistons also move. Now, the reason why I suggest taking them out is because the pistons will block your range of articulation. So I'm pretty sure you can just kind of spread out the legs a little bit maybe if I don't want to break them. Like you can see they're right there. If I can just feel like I'm gonna break them. The reason for it is because it is going to limit your range of articulation. You can't really move forward or backwards with these pistons on here, so it is important to actually get those out as best as you can. Oh wait, I think I remember now. They are supposed to come out this way. So, is that right? I have my other figure. Let's see if I can get those out first, because I know I've gotten them out before. Yeah, I don't know. I forgot how to do it. You can definitely go watch my video for the original one. I'm not going to try to do this on here because I don't want to break it. So, yeah, there's that. So, again, range of articulation, pretty limited because it is a giant hunk of metal. The tail is probably the smoothest tail that you could ever have in any S.H.MonsterArts figure. The arms can also go outward to a T-pose. Again, these are very tight. This figure does have some very tight joints, and it's commonly known for breaking easily. So something that I would suggest is putting this figure in warm water or to using shock oil. More preferably shock oil, because warm water is not a permanent solution. Shock oil is. Moving forward, you can move the arms pretty much 360 degrees. You have the limitations of the shoulder pad, although it is pretty easy to not have those limitations. You do have these little compartments that have pretty much all the little weapons and everything, which is really nice. You have them on the back too. For the jetpack, the jet boosters, that you can actually attach some of the effects on there, which is really cool. And again, just this figure doesn't have much mobility. It's just a giant hunk of metal, but it's still a really cool figure. Now let's move on into the accessories, because this figure actually comes with accessories. So let's take a look at those real quick. As far as accessories go, this is the lineup that we have. We have the original hands that came with the original figure, which is just kind of like clamping hands, which is honestly pretty cool. Would have wished that they actually were on a hinge to actually be able to grab Godzilla. Although you could theoretically like open them up. They are soft plastic, so just be careful with like breaking them or separating them from the actual base of the hand. We do have the two like propulsor or the energy punches that he uses. What you do is you just take off one of the hands. Oh, that happened. So you take off the hands. So I actually separated what I warned you guys about. So just put that back in. You can separate them easily. They are oh wait, you can actually separate them. So you can actually swap them out if you wanted to. Huh. That is something I had no idea you could do. Interesting. That's actually pretty cool. So you can actually swap them out if you want to. That's very nice. That actually gives you a lot more options. Very nice. Honestly, if Bandai thought of that, I commend you guys. Very nice. So you're swapping out the hand. Pretty simple. You have the peg, and then you just slide it right in. Slot that sucker right in. It doesn't go over the hand. It just goes as part of the hand. So technically, these are separate hands. Separate hand accessories that you have. Which is really nice, actually. So, yeah, just let me put this back on real quick. There you go. So now we have the photon beam, or the red death beam that he uses. We have the propeller or drill tail that he uses as well. Again, that one is pretty easy to just kind of swap out. Just pop this out, pop this right in. There you go. Honestly, I think I'm gonna keep this instead. I don't think you can swap it out with the original, because this one doesn't have an option to swap it out. Well, he technically could, but I wouldn't advise ungluing that. But yeah, this is honestly a cooler that you can it actually spins. That's actually really cool. So yeah, this one is gonna go into storage, and I'm gonna leave that there. But no, yeah, so far so good. And then we have the base for the laser, and then we have the propulsors. Now, this is the coolest thing about this figure. And you may be wondering, where do I attach the propulsors? Let me show you. So the previous figure doesn't have this because Bandai just thought of this later down the line. So over here, there's a little latch that you can actually open up. You can actually just kind of get your nail underneath it or through it. If you need something to actually prop it open, I would suggest just like a nail filer or something that has like thinness to it. You're just gonna prop it in, and super easily just push these things out. They don't require a lot of force, and then afterwards you can just open those hinges up, and then they're gonna go pretty much downward. This is like one of the coolest little compartments and secrets that they could have done with this figure. So I'm very happy with how this figure turned out, although I'm not very happy with the price. And that is actually going to lead me into my final thoughts. This figure is great. This is the figure that we should have gotten originally. Now, granted, this figure is still befitting of being in someone's collection. It's in my collection now, and I'm very happy to have not only the original one, but also this one. I could have, theoretically, two different scenarios. One, beating the crap out of Godzilla. The other one, getting beat up by Kong. So, there's that. As an overall score, I'm actually going to give this figure a 9 out of 10. Now, you may be wondering, why am I giving it such a high praise? I think this figure is just a solid figure in general. Like, it actually improves so much upon the previous figure, even by just little elements. Like, for example, the hidden compartments, some of the hinges actually being added so they can actually move, like the jet thrusters in the back. All of those things are improvements. Even just the hinge opening better and closing better, and also just the accessories being there, it's just a better figure. This is the figure that you should get. Now, granted, the only downside, it's $170 after tariffs. I paid $170 for this figure. I didn't pre-order it because I didn't think I was going to get it. And I didn't think all these issues with tariffs were going to happen. It was originally $160. Not really the highest price, but it does increase by like $10, $13 after tariffs. Unfortunate. But it's finally here. I honestly have no regrets. Do I wish it was lower in price? Absolutely. But with the way that Bandai is working, it's definitely not going to go down in price anytime soon. And especially if you are planning on getting this, I would definitely get it sooner rather than later, because this is a premium web exclusive. It is going to be limited. It's not going to be made pretty much any time after this. Especially with just the Monsterverse seeming to come to an end soon as well. So don't expect this figure to ever get a reissue. Maybe a new version, but never a reissue. But that's pretty much all the time I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about this figure. Do you like him? Do you not like him? Are you happy that we finally have a good Mechagodzilla from this movie? Because I for sure am. But that's everything that I have here. If you liked the video, like, subscribe, all that sort of jazz. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.